Yo, it's your boy Simon. Today we're diving deep into police brutality, how it affects prisons, and what needs to change. It's all over social media. Police brutality, civil unrest, people are getting pissed off. Enough is enough. In prison, there is no difference. This shit happens behind locked doors all the time. The only difference? Nobody fucking talks about it. I'm going to explain why. Because when you're behind closed door and you're a felon, you're an inmate, guess what? It's your word against all the officers. Excessive force has been used in prisons since the beginning. I have numerous stories of just seeing guys getting manhandled, guys getting crushed, guys getting just beat to a pulp by the police for no rhyme or reason. It's an epidemic. It's not only happening out here in the streets. These riots are not for nothing. There's a civil unjust happening in today's society, and something needs to be done about it. I'm here. I want to talk to you guys. I want to dive deep. I want to tell you my experiences and what I've seen in prison pertaining to this brutality. Now, that's not to say every single CO in there is looking to beat up an inmate, looking to use excessive force, looking for issues, but it happens all the time. It happens every single day. It's disgusting. This one time, I remember vividly, there was this drug unit in one of the prisons I was in. It was a high minimum prison. It was an open dorm setting. And every time a counselor would come on the deck, usually the counselors were females. So every time it was protocol for all the inmates to go back to the rooms. But usually what they would do is they give you a heads up before it happens. So on this day, a counselor comes on the deck. The CO doesn't call it. All he does is yell out counselor. There's guys in the bathroom. They rush out. So there's this guy. He's taking a leak in the urinal. Now keep in mind the day room, the bathroom, it's all interconnected. This is just a big ass dorm. So the counselor walks on the deck with the police escort, and the cop looks over at the guy taking a leak. He instantly spears this man into the urinal. Didn't give him a warning. Didn't give him a second to think. Now think about that. It's just disgusting. And guess what happened to the CO? He got 30 days paid leave. Paid leave. And what did that inmate get? He got a ticket. He's in the wrong. There is no rights in there. The stuff that's happening out here, it needs to be done. It needs to be heard. Because this is just a travesty. Untrained individuals that are running these prisons, that are running these systems. A lot of reason that these cops do what they do, or rather not cops, but COs pertaining to prison, when it comes to excessive force, it's usually because these guys have some kind of chip on their shoulder. Now, after being incarcerated for 8.5 years, I've humbled myself to the point where I try to have some type of compassion for individuals before judging them or just seeing how they act, because maybe they've been through something traumatic and they act out a certain way. But sometimes excuses can only go so far. And it's a never-ending cycle as far as prison goes. There's another story that happened while I was locked up. There was this one CO in particular. He was always edgy. He was always, trying to portray this authority figure to try to frighten inmates, to talk down to them. I remember in particular, I was going to classes one day in the school building. This is before they canceled the school in 2014. And I was waiting to give my ID, and this CO was snickering, talking about all the inmates. Look at these idiots getting their GEDs at the age of 30, 40 years old. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, bro, at best you got a high school diploma. Are you kidding me? Making fun of guys that are trying to better themselves? But this is the bully mentality. This is the type of shit that goes on in there. It's just untrained individuals incapable of contemplating what their job really is, which is a corrections officer. You're supposed to correct. You're not supposed to add insult to injury. That's what the job is supposed to be. But that's just not a reality. That is something needs to change. There needs to be an overhaul of the training. There needs to be an overhaul of the system. And with the police brutality that you're seeing on the streets, the guys just going in on peaceful protesters, it's the same premise. It's not just one person. It's not just a group of people. There's a lot of bad apples in the bunch. Maybe it's the training. Maybe it's something more than that. But that's not to say that good police and good COs don't exist. I've met a big, wide variety of great COs. Guys that just went into work to get a paycheck and made sure that you were safe, that you guys weren't killing each other, weren't beating the dog shit out of each other. And that was enough for them. But unfortunately, a lot of the COs that work there, that's not enough for them. They bring in their personal vendettas, their personal issues into prison, into a professional workplace. What other job, if you brought your personal issues into, wouldn't fire you off the bat? It makes no sense at all. I'm making this video because I'm sure that a lot of people out there don't know or don't realize what kind of travesties do happen in prison. It's not just the stuff that happens out here. Here, you guys can see it. Here, it's in the media. In there, it's covered up. No one knows what's going on. And if somebody talks out, if an inmate talks out and lets their family know, lets a lawyer know, it's the whole police, rather, it's the whole CO institution's word against yours. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes they do get punished. But it's so rare. You need a lot of proof. You need camera footage. You need words of other COs, and it's just not a reality. It's actually it's just a travesty. I really hope that more and more people speak out about this. If you've ever been locked up, hit a comment below. Let them know what's been done to you. If anything, maybe we can make some awareness out there. If there's any other bigger prison YouTubers, if there's any people that have some kind of outreach, I know you guys can attest to this. Violence in prison, when it comes to CO on inmate violence, it's messed up. It's actually disgusting. There's this one organization inside. It's called Orange Crush here in Illinois. It's basically like a crisis team. And every single time that this crisis team would come on the units, usually they come every 3 to 6 months. It kind of depends. And every single time that they come, at least 1 to 3 inmates gets just bashed. The protocol goes like this. As soon as they come on the unit, you strip down naked once they're in there. I remember this one time I was in my cell. I was in a 2-man cell with my cellie, and Orange Crush came in. They barged through the back door. The reason why they're called Orange Crush is because they got full orange tactical gear, just like a SWAT member. So they come in, and they tell everybody, first and foremost, they turn off all the toilet water so nobody can flush it. Because obviously that's the first thing people would do. If they hear Orange Crush, they hear a bunch of screaming, the first thing they do is flush everything they got. Shanks, drugs, you name it, or they put in their prison pocket, if you know what I'm saying. So they're coming in through the back. They raid all the rooms. 1 or 2 COs, they stop at each cell. There was, at that time, I believe there was 24 cells on each wing. And they tell us to get against the wall. So we get off our bunks. We're on the wall. The CO tells me to look at him, face him, while my cellie faces the wall. And he tells me to strip naked. So keep in mind, at this point, there's 3 people in the room. There's a CO, there's me, and there's my cellie literally 2 feet behind me, getting shook down butt-ass naked. So I take off all my clothes. He does the typical procedure. He tells me, do not look me in the face. Protocol is you must keep your head on the floor. You cannot look them in the face. If you look them in the face, you will literally get your ass handed to you. They will handcuff you, they will manhandle you, and they will take you to the segregation where they're going to lay their hands on you. They're going to beat the dog shit out of you. And I've seen it happen not only one time. So I strip down naked. They search me. They tell me, put your boxers back on. I go against the wall. They call my cellie. They tell his ass to strip down naked. He walks to the next cell. My cellie's butt-ass naked. I'm against the wall. Now, you tell me that isn't just belittlement. You tell me that isn't disgusting. This is not the only time. When I went to receiving, after doing about a year in Cook County, there was a 40-man bus that we rode in on. 40 men. Every single one of us in receiving lined up against a wall. This is 40 men, mind you, grown ass men. So they line us all up against a wall. They tell all of us to strip down naked. Some of the OGs, some of the guys that already been down, they knew what's up. They already dropped their pants sooner than you can fucking blink. So I'm looking around, I'm like, oh shit, are you kidding me? That is just the most belittling, degrading, dehumanizing thing I could ever think of. So I do it. You got 40 men standing there naked, bending over, coughing, putting their fingers in their mouths. And you just got a line of COs. Some are snickering. Some are watching us. Others are telling us what to do. And I remember this so vividly. I was just standing there shivering. It was ice cold in receiving. This is NRC. It's basically like a big, open, gray prison. Like your stereotypical prison. I'm just standing there. And my whole life just seemed it seemed unreal. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Was this going to be the next 7.5 years at that point? It made me feel like an animal. It made me want to act like an animal. So we put on all our clothes. They put us inside of showers with ice cold water. They give us a pair of boxers that is about 3 times too big. At this point, they gave me a 4X boxer, which you had to tie on the very side for it to stay up on your ass. So keep in mind, this is 40 men. Now we were naked. We were getting searched. Now this whole line of people is going through a shower. The shower is huge. It's got like 40 shower heads, if not more. It's the biggest shower I've ever seen in my life. And all of us are told to take a shower. Every single one of us. They give us ivory soap. They send us in there and that's it. No shower shoes, no nothing. You're barefoot on this disgusting floor. You're lathering up, you're washing yourself. And then they give you some kind of used boxers that are 3 times as big and they put you in your cells. This is prison in a nutshell. I hope, I pray that the stuff out there, the protests are for something. I hope that this shit is put to an end. This is disgusting behavior. It's dehumanizing. We as people need to act as people. Don't knock the next person down just because he messed up. People that are already down, there's no need to keep kicking them down. This is why the recidivism is so high in the United States. In my state alone, it's 89% of individuals go back to prison. How can we fix this? Let's put some awareness out there. Let this shit be known. Let's stop messing around. I don't know. I'm hoping that this video really does reach an audience to allow people to see and hear the kind of stories that are going on in there. If you've ever been locked up, leave a comment below. Let it be known. What have you been through? Have you ever been treated like this? Let's put some kind of awareness out there. Share this video. Have a voice. Let's do something. Don't just sit there and do nothing while everything keeps revolving and looping and happening over and over and over again. Enough is enough. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like. I also stream every night on twitch.tv/everyonekills. Come through. Everybody's welcome. As always, be good. Stay safe. There's nothing but love here. Until next time, peace.